The Khajiit is here! The Khajiit is here! Let's get something done!
Black pig in your area.
보란듯이 무너졌어. 바닥을 뚫고 저 지하까지. 엊그처럼 잡겠다고 저 높이 두 손을 뻗어봐도 다시 캄캄한 이곳에 light up the sky. 네 두 눈을 보며 I kiss you bye. 실컷 비웃어라 꼴좋으니까 이젠 너희 하나 둘 셋. How you like that? You gon' like that? Da 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 da. How you like that? Bada bing, bada boom, boom, boom. How you like that? Da 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 da. Now, look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. How you like that? Now, look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. How you like that? Your girl need a doll and that's 100. 100개 중에 100 내 몫을 원해. Come on, come on, get some. 나 같지만 어쩔 순 없잖아. What's up? I'm right back. 방금 sweater cock back. Plain Jane get hijacked. Don't like me, then tell me how you like that. Like that. 더 캄캄한 이곳에 shine like the stars. 그 미소를 띠며 I kiss you goodbye. 실컷 비웃어라 꼴좋으니까 이제 너희 하나 둘 셋. How you like that? You gon' like that? Da 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 da. How you like that? Bada bing, bada boom, boom, boom. How you like that? Da 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 da. Now, look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. How you like that? Now, look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. How you like that? 나에게 이른 채로 추락했던 날 어두운 나날 속에 갇혀 있던 날 그때쯤에 넌 날 끝내야 했어. Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Yeah.
Bring out the butt, bitch.
Yeah. Like pink. Dum 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 dum. How you like that? Dum 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 dum. You gon' like that? Dum 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 dum. How you like that? Dum 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 dum.
Alright guys, what is up? It's K-Pop and Khajiit coming at you with another build video. This week we are doing the Magic of Templar. We are using this in battlegrounds for no CP, so we don't have any CP on, so all the stats for this video are without CP. We're at home, we're not in the no CP campaign, so there's no buffs being added. These are our stats. We are drinking the Witch Mother's Potent Brew, mainly for the extra magic recovery on that. You, by all rights, can use the tri-stats if you want that extra stamina. We prefer the magic recovery, the, you know, doodah. Tripods, whatever you can afford, whatever you can get your hands on. You don't need the spell power, but you want the recovery, tripods, detection, immovability, whatever. Alright, let's get into it. Now, when I started creating this build, I wanted to create builds that are for you. That are for, I'm not even facing the camera. Got my back to my audience. Jesus. Alright, we wanted builds that we're not meta. We're not just the same old sets everyone's using all the time. And I thought we could do this. And to a certain extent we did do this. But for this build, it didn't really work out. There was no point in using underperforming sets just to be different. Now, this build I wanted was a Beamplar. I wanted an anti-Nightblade build. A build that would be able to get kills for people no matter their skill level. We're talking about low action players here. You know, people out of region, people that are laggy, people that can't jab. Okay. Now the Templar's bread and butter is their jabs. Okay. That's their main. That's how they make a living. But you can't do that, can you? And that's why you're watching this video, because you're like, man, I need a build. I'm getting my ass whooped out there. I can't seem to hit anybody. And that's because you're laggy. And you're trying to jab this target dummy. And you think you're jabbing this target dummy because you think he's right there. But he's not. You're a second behind. He's already moved over. This is what you're doing. You're jabbing smoke. You're jabbing Finir. You're wasting all your magicka. And you're not hitting shit. Because he's not where he looks like he is on your screen. You're desynced, you're second off, God forbid 2-3 seconds off, and you can't hit him. You think you're hitting him, but he's just not there. So stop using jabs. Alright, let's carry on. So we wanted to use lock-on abilities, because your Beam of Light will lock onto him. Your Jesus Beam will lock onto him. These are abilities you can actually hit your enemies with. So this is what I wanted to base my Templar around. And we were using Soulshine, which powers up your beam abilities. It also powers up your jabs. Your jabs is considered a channel. So it powered up your jabs, your soul beam, and of course we're using Soul Strike as our ultimate. Now this worked out great. And we combined that with the Bolglin's Monster Hound, which gave us extra weapon damage and extra up to 500 spell damage for our ultimate. And it also gave us the penetration, which we didn't really need because we're killing Nightblades. But we combined that with Soulshine, and we were one-shotting Nightblades.
We must get them all!
So the build worked, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed hunting Nightblades, but there's no point. This set powers up by 350 damage. War Maidens just gives us 600 damage at all times on all abilities. There's no downside. There's no yin yang, no good or bad. It's just purely better in every aspect. So what's the point, you know? It should be the other way around. Soulshine should be adding 600 spell damage to channel abilities only, and War Maiden should be adding 400 damage to everything. That way you would have a choice to make. Do you want the extra damage just on these skills? Or you want slightly less damage but on everything? But that's not the case. So we just had to go with War Maiden. Because War Maiden has outperformed everything. Scaging Mage was another one. 20% chance to increase your damage, which being a Templar worked really well on a Templar. The 20% chance you jab is going to proc. Okay? But it's only 500 damage, and it doesn't refresh. Testing it out on the target dummy, it doesn't refresh. You have to wait for that 5 seconds to run out, and then you can proc it again. Still really good, still really strong, still no point in using it because War Maiden over there, 600 damage on everything, all the time. No need to proc it. So War Maiden wins out, and this is why we all use the same sets, because the top performing sets just outperform everything in every area. So just use War Maiden, guys. There's no point using anything else. Alright, moving on from War Maidens, we are using Rattle Cage. Now, on a Templar, getting that extra 20% is impossible unless you use the Mages Guild entropy skill, which works fine. You could do that, but having this up, we're lazy. So having the 20% up at all times is excellent. We don't need to try and bar swap. We all know it can get laggy and it can be very difficult to bar swap sometimes. So having this, you don't need to run it on your front bar, and you don't need a bar swap, and it's there at all times. Not only that, but it's heavy armor, so you're getting the protection, as well as 3 lines of spell damage. So we're getting the 2 lines of 130 spell damage, and then we're getting a massive monster 170 spell damage on the 5 piece, as well as the 20%. So that's just too much spell damage, and in heavy armor as well. I couldn't pass that up. I love heavy armor. You can't hunt night blades if you're squishy. Okay? So we need that heavy armor. Now, we ended up in Zans. Like I said, we were using Bolgons, but we went with Zans for the burst damage. You don't have to save up your ultimate. It procs quite a lot. 33% chance, that's very high. Does a lot of damage. Why wouldn't we use it? Let's go for it. The other monster helms we did play with was Slimeclaw. Again, it's just another buff that you can have up at all times without having to proc it. If you don't want to use Zans, if you're like, oh, Zans is a cheese set, blah 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 blah, wah wah wah, use Slimeclaw. You'll get your 5% at all times, and it goes nicely with your Rattle Cage, so it's giving you 25% damage all up. Or again, Mighty Chandran, highly recommended if you want the more tankier version, because then you get your physical and spell resistance at all times. You don't lazy. These are lazy Templar builds, okay? So you don't have to do shit. It's just there at all times. But we went with Zans. Now, the basic build is, because you can't jab. Remember, do not try and run up and jab people. You're going to be missing. You're going to be wondering why you're getting wasted, because you wasted all your magicka trying to jab somebody. You can't jab. So, the only time we use jab is after our crit charge. So you crit charge, that's going to stun him for 3 seconds. Put a light attack, hopefully your Zans procs. If it doesn't, tough, and then hit the jabs. That's the basic combo. Okay? Now you can put that on them first. That's even better. Crit charge, light attack, jabs. See that time Zans procs, so we'll jab again, hit him with a soul assault, and then a Jesus beam. That's the combo. Nice, simple, easy. We've got our heals there at all times. We're not bar swapping. Put that on him. Jab. If he gets stunned, hit him with a few jabs. If he gets away, reset. Come back. All the Azans proc. Oh, I moved too far away. Let's try and get the whole combo going. Light attack. Hit him with that again. Nah, we still got no Zans. Oh my god. Proc, you fucking shit. There we go. So as soon as Zans procs, hit him with the beam as well at the same time. And that is a lot of damage going in on him. And if he does manage to survive that, hit him with the Jesus beam straight after. If you got your beam on him, that's going to pop too. It's a very awesome burst damage. And that's it. On the back bar we run Unstable Core. Do I need to go over these skills? We all know what these skills are, right? We've got our jabs, we've got our beam of light, our Jesus beam, our charge, and our heal. Templar 101. Okay. On our back bar, because we don't need to run Interpeep, or whatever it's called, we don't need the power up, we can run Unstable Core. Now this is such an no, I don't see anyone else using this ability. I don't know why. I love it. Especially in battlegrounds where there's limited number of opponents. If you got 2 people, put Unstable Core on one of them, and then crit charge the other one. And that's gonna disable that guy for a few seconds. It's gonna buy you a bit of time. We've got our defensive rune, our mage light to protect against those night blades, our purge, and we've got our heal on both bars. Just because that's our oh shit button, and oh shit moments can happen no matter what bar you're on. So this is the bar we will be on when we're moving around. when we're going from flag to flag, we're on this bar because we've got a sword and shield. So that's going to deter our Nightblades from attacking you in the first place because you got health and you got a sword and shield. You look tanky. They're gonna attack the squishier opponent. And we've got our mage light, so if we do get ganked in transit, it's not going to stun us. So this is what we'll be doing. We're running around, going towards the flag. Oh, we see an opponent. We can put that on him, then put that on him, and then go into our combo. And I think that's it. Now, there is one more little thing we can put in here, and that is our crit charge. If you don't use that, and don't use that, right? You just say you've just finished fighting one person, you ain't got time for all that shit. The next opponent comes up, you crit charge them. Bang, it stuns them. Now, an awesome set that we could use is of course Flame Blossom. Now, Flame Blossom, if you don't want to be heavy, you want to be full damage, you can live that squishy life. I can't handle that squishy life. I need my heavy armor. If your connection is that good and you're a good player and you can live that squishy life and you're used to it and you want that squishy life, I would suggest Flame Blossom because, well, you get the max magic spell damage, standard, blah, but we get the spell pin. Okay. Now that's going to be very, very strong for taking out tough opponents. And when you deal damage, so it procs automatically as soon as you deal damage. So don't do nothing else. Save it, and it's going to do 10k damage, 1 second. So that 1 second doesn't matter because our crit charge is stunning them for 3 seconds. So if that's the first piece of damage you're doing, bang, 1 second later he's going to get hit by a 10k Flame Blossom, your Zahn, and then your ultimate and your Jesus Beam. No one's surviving that. Okay, it's going to have to be a very tanky motherfucker to survive all that. So if you don't like the heavy armor, you want the squishy life, I would suggest Flame Blossom. So I think that's everything in it. We've got Zahns for the burst damage, Rattle Cage for all the spell damage and the tank ability, and War Maidens just because it farts on everything else. That's it. There's no CP to go over. Food, potions, sort yourself out. That's our stats. And so that's up at all times. There's no buffing. Unless you drink a potion that gives you the weapon crit damage or whatever. But you can see our crit's very low. Our penetration is 0. I think that's a glitch. But, never mind. She does really well. Oh, it's chatty time. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it gives you some ideas, a direction in which maybe you want to take your Templar. Again, if you don't have the Soul Strike ultimate, which, why don't you? Get out there and do it. See, I've had some 6 and a 10k tick on there. If you don't have that, some other alternatives would be, of course, Eye of the Storm. That's super good for taking out Nightblades on a Templar, because it will follow you, and so you proc that, and it's going to do a big AoE, and then the Nightblade can't vanish because he's in the AoE, so you just keep crit charging him. Don't let him escape, crit charge, and your Destroy ult will take care of him. It prevents him from going into stealth. Now, even better than that, if you wanted, you could go Vampire. Because the Vampire ult, the Swarm Bats on the Vampire ult, the Nightblade can't get away from that either. Your jabs are going to slow him down. It's virtually the same thing as the Destroy ult, but you get bigger and stronger and uglier. That's why I didn't do it, because my character is good looking, and I didn't want to do that whole ugly vampire thing. But you probably should. I mean, because I don't know you, so I don't care what your character looks like, and you're probably ugly already anyway. So go ahead, be a vampire, and do that. It's a great ultimate for killing Nightblades. And yeah, that's it. That's my Nightblade killing Templar. She does extremely well. I like her. Again, this is just for you who are struggling out there. If you're already mad good, elite hopping scumbag type kind of person, then why are you watching this video? Stick to your, stick to whatever you do. You're probably doing better than me anyway. Don't listen to me, listen to you. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed. This is the idea behind my channel. This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be trying to build videos for your laggy ass you can't get any kills, so you can try and cheese a kill or two. So this is the start. We'll be bringing out a healer video to go alongside this one. There's the Templars covered. We did a Templar tank, Templar DPS, Templar healer will be out in the next few days. If you're a noob, be a Templar. I mean, it's got the best rotation in the world. Charge, jab. That's it. That's your rotation. That's all you do. You got this. You can do it. Love you all. Oh my God. Is that coming out of her boob? Oh my God. So you can just sit back and spam Jesus beam. Power of the light, very effective. You see those are the two moves I was using. Combo time, light attack, jab. Zans didn't proc, we still got him. Power of the light, charge, ult, mounts him. Enemy stole the kill, but that's alright, we still mounted him. We get ganked. With our heavy armor, we managed to survive the gank. Now I try and jab him, it didn't work at all. Power of the light though, we'll lock onto him, that will work. He's a slippery one, we get a light attack on him, it procs our Zans will follow him, he can't escape that Zan. And finish him with the beam. Power of the light, Jesus beam. Jesus beam. Jesus beam. We get stunned. I would have done another Jesus beam. There it is. And he gets the kill. Stun, combo,